Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Hi, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. My name is Gina Pike. I hope you're all doing well and safe. What a week this has been for us, and I'm sure for a lot of you guys with the winter Arctic blast. I mean, we lost power for 3 days, and we just got power back. We would get power, like little spurts of power, like maybe an hour. We did get 2 hours one time, and we were like, oh, I think it's going to stay on, and then it went off. So our pool completely froze. I'll put a picture here if you're interested. That's never happened before here in Texas. Not sure if it's going to work when everything thaws out. Fingers crossed. I hope it does. A lot of different challenges that everybody's been facing, and I hope and pray that today you guys are all safe, sound, warm, in a safe place, eating good food with friends and family, people that you love. And I'm just excited to be here. I want to talk to you today about two whips I have going on, two works in progress, no finished objects today. A little bit about what I plan, some future plans, and I have happy mail at the end. So let's get into it. Today we're doing our WAYK-14 update. What are you knitting? Don't know why or how I came up with that, but I like it, so it's gonna stick. Okay, let's get it started into it. 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, I told you guys about Boo Knits was going to be doing her annual mystery knit along. It's a lace crescent top down. You start at the top. It's a crescent lace shawl with beads, and it started because Valentine's Day was on Sunday, and our first clue came out, and I have been so anxious to knit this one because I was going to be using a yarn I've never used before. This is the yarn I'm using. It's by Farmash out of Germany. It's a gradient yarn. This gradient is called Roses, and I was starting with, if you remember, I had all those beads. I ended up picking the Miyake round seed bead. It's a Duracoat silver lined peony pink bead, and it's size 6.0. I'll put a picture here. This is kind of where I have some. You can see the color. I'll take a picture and insert it so you guys can see it top down what they look like. I love these beads. Here they are in the tube. They got a little bit of a sheen in them when you put them on. They shine. Forget that. They shine. You'll see it on the yarn, and that's what I'm trying to show you. Is when you put it on the yarn, they have a really special sheen to them that just kind of like a little sparkle, and that's what a bead should do when you use a bead on your knitting. Anyway, let's get into this. We started with clue 1, and this shawl again is called Hope Remains, and she has a beautiful story about I'm gonna mess this up. Go read it. I've got all the information on this below. Go to the project page and read the story. But basically, it's all this bad stuff happened with all these gods and goddesses and stuff. But at the end, hope is what remained after all that bad stuff happened. And I just thought it was kind of appropriate because it was kind of like this week, as I was trying to knit this in the cold. I mean, our home was 46F, which is 12C. Inside our home when we didn't have power for hours and hours and hours. And I was trying to knit this, and my hands were cold, and my gauge is way off. But I kept having hope that the power was going to come on. So I thought it was kind of appropriate that I was knitting the shawl when I didn't have power, and I was relying on hope that the power would come on. All right, here we go. Enough yakking. Let's get going. This is it. This is the start of it. You started right here where I got this right here. You do a garter stitch tab cast on If you don't know how to do that, I do have a video of showing you how to do that. I'll put a link up above. But basically you start with 3 stitches or however many stitches the pattern calls for, and then you knit a garter stitch tab and pick up stitches along this, and you end up with this rectangular looking piece of material, and then you expand on that to become all of this. This is clue 1 so far. This is big. This was 90 rows of knitting. I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to finish this before the next clue comes out. The next clue just came out today. So I did finish it yesterday, in the nick of time, but it was 90 rows, and that was a long clue for Beverly. Usually they're not that long. The second clue that just came out is actually 24 rows, but we only have 3 days to knit it. Like that one, we had 5 days to knit that, all of that. But it looks like this was really easy knitting. I'll try to stay on this as I talk. I'm so sorry. It was super easy knitting. A lot of just knit stitches, a few yarn overs, as you can see here. Like there's a little yarn over pattern going on right there. And right there above the beads. And it looks like she's trying to pull in a little dragonfly, because in the bottom of her pattern, I don't know if you can see this, I don't want to give the pattern away, she has a little dragonfly right there, and I think that's what she's trying to do with the design a little bit. But it's basically this just design over and over and over again. And I love that the beads start at the beginning. I should hold this the right way, sorry, holding it upside down. I love that the beads start here at the very beginning and they go all the way down. Take a look. My beads are very matchy at the beginning, but as I go through that gradient, they're going to start popping when I start changing colors. But as you can see, what I was trying to tell you, if my camera will focus, is there's a little bit of a sheen on these, like an orange sheen. I think it's just really pretty. Even though they are matchy, they still give it just a little bit of sparkle. You can still see them when the light hits them the right way. Let's see if I can get this to do. I don't know if I will be able to. But 90 rows, same pattern, pretty much over and over. 12 stitch repeats, adding stitches to each end as you go along. That's how the shawl gets bigger. And just loving it. It's just gonna if you've never knit Bev's patterns, they are really extremely well written. She has the text written out for the clue. She has all kinds of little hints, like don't forget to change your needles, you know, when you have to change a needle size. She has the beads, where you put the beads, all highlighted, and she does it for the charts as well. So she has a chart and she has the text, and it's a really great way to kind of challenge you if you're not used to working with charts and you want to learn how to use charts. You know, try one of her patterns, because she's got it side by side, and you can, this is what I think it is, look at the text and just double check yourself and see if you're really picking up on how to use charts. That's just my knitting turnpike tip of the day. But that's kind of how I did it. Like I said, last year I really just started learning how to knit with charts, and it's really helped me improve my knitting. I'm making less mistakes. I used to get off really easy and have to undo it, and now I can see how things are supposed to line up. If I'm not lining up correctly as I'm doing something, I stop and I fix it right then, instead of having to undo a whole row of 30 stitches, or a whole row or 2 or 3 of 30 stitches. Anyway, again, this is Hope Remains, Boo Knits, Lace Shawl, clue number 1. Absolutely love it, and I'm so excited that clue 2 is already out today, and I can work on that over the weekend. I'm sorry that it is rolling up. This is a stockinette stitch, so it is going to roll. That's why she has on the edges, she does have a garter stitch edge coming along the sides here to try to help this lay flat when you do your shawl, when you block it out. But right now, the stockinette's trying to roll. So excited about that. I need to move this along. It's getting a little chatty. The second thing I wanted to talk about is another shawl that I've been talking to you about for 4 weeks now. It's called the Ultimate Advent Stash Buster Shawl by Deborah, or Debbie, as we all know her and love her, Debbie Bowanko. I just like to say Deborah because if you go look for her on Ravelry, it's under Deborah. So, she has released the next clue. Remember, it's a clue every week. And this clue is called the Open Honeycomb. And here is what I knitted. It's this teal color. This is all, the last time I showed you was the divider color. So the next clue will be a divider, and I'm going to do gray for that. But this is the Open Honeycomb stitch. And for just comparisons, because I like to compare things and dig, I looked online, and this is what I saw for the Open Honeycomb. And then now this is what Debbie designed for the Open Honeycomb. Pretty similar, right? But it is a little bit different. So I think it's really beautiful. I love I love lace. I love when you block it, this is going to be open and just so pretty. And this yarn I'm using right now, I may mix this up, but right now I'm using a homespun house. And this for my shawl, just so you can see what it's looking like. This was one of the mini skeins from the homespun house, and this was also another mini skein from the homespun house. This was Manisteo the Uruguay Fino yarn. So again, here we have, oh, I can't remember what this one's called. Then you have Sandstone, and then you have Open Honeycomb. I hope I got that right. Sandstone? Sand Stitch. That's what this one was. And then this one, I can't remember what the beginning was. See, my brain doesn't work so well. But this is what it's looking like. A lot of blues and purples. And as you can see, that there is some teal in that second color. And so that's why I thought I brought this in. That's got some purple and teal in it. This also has a little bit of sparkle in the yarn as well. It's a little bit of stellina in it. I don't know if you guys can see it with the camera and the lighting in here today. It's still not very sunshiny outside, but the sun is trying. Anyway, I'm liking this. I think it's looking really good. The divider. Anyway, I just wanted to update you guys on that. If you guys are working on that, I know a few of you are working on that with me. Email me your clue. And if you'd like me to include this in my videos, I will. But take a picture of your clue, email it to me, and I would love to show what you guys are working on and what it's, show you mine, show what you're doing, and just look at how different something can look with just, using a different color palette. And any of you guys, if y'all ever want to email me, feel free to. That's just for you guys. So feel free to email me, ask me questions. I know a few of you guys already have, and I appreciate that. I read all my emails. I may not be the fastest at getting to them, but I will get to them. So please do that. If you want to, make comments below this video, subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of knitting content. One thing I wanted to talk about next is a little bit of where I think I'm going to go over the next month. I will be finishing up this Hope Remains shawl. We also had that sock giveaway. I have been looking at how to knit socks and trying to figure out what I want my first pattern to be. But as I get into that, I'm going to film some series where I talk about how I do this whole sock thing. And even if it's ugly, even if my socks are 2 different sizes, I'm still going to share this with you guys because it's real. And I want you guys to know, and I know socks are not easy. I've also thought about maybe doing a couple of live series. I'm not at that point of YouTube where I can easily do it, but I know I can do it with a certain way, and I'm thinking about trying to do that. If you guys would be interested in doing that, like talk about sock cast-ons, or whatever you guys are interested in. Maybe you guys should put what you're interested in about socks or gauge, or I got to start at the beginning. So let's look at the beginning topics, like should it be a top-down sock? Should it be should you go with a toe-up sock? Those kinds of things. and just let me know. And if you're interested in that, I will consider it. I don't want to do a whole bunch of lives, but I have thought about maybe doing, a couple a month to start out with and get me used to it, because I'm a pretty shy person. And I know you guys probably don't think that, but it did take a lot to get me to sit here and do this, a lot of years. So, and I still feel pretty uncomfortable doing this, but because it is recorded, I'm a little bit more comfortable. So, doing a live is a little bit the next step for me. But if you guys are interested in something like that, I will consider it. And we would have topics. I don't want to just sit there and just not have a topic. I want to have a topic that we talk about, like sock cast-ons. What do you do with this part of your sock? Or if we're at the heel, what are you going to do for how to make the heel? What are the different ways you can make a heel? What are the different ways you can do a cuff? Things like that, topics like that. And if you want it to, I'm kind of interested in socks. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. I think you are, based on the giveaways, but I'd like to have a little bit of a sanity check, if you don't mind. Also, I wanted to mention, I have someone today that is making a guest appearance here on Knitting Turnpike. I'd like to introduce my lovely model, Claire. Yes, she has a name. She came into my life a couple of years ago. She was a Christmas present. She is a wire mannequin, beautiful wrought iron wire mannequin. And I named her Claire because I love the Outlander series. I've read all of the books. I watch the series. I repeat watch the series. And so this is Claire. And she's modeling one of my favorite shawls, which is the Spring 4th shawl. And that pattern is by Romy Hill. But I thought I'd introduce Claire. And every once in a while, she's going to make an appearance here in her videos. Not all the time, but just every once in a while. She likes to come out of the yarn room. And that's another thing, is I want to show you guys my yarn room, but I've got to get it in a really good place. So the last thing I want to talk about is some Happy Mail. And I have a wonderful friend whom I've met here on YouTube. Yes, Beate, that's you. And she is just the kindest, sweetest person I've ever met. She wanted to send me something, and she also, it's not just that she sent me something that she bought. Everything she sent me, she made. And that just, we crafters know that takes it to a whole nother level, right? Because it's the time, the thought into picking this color and this color and putting it together, and the time you put into that. It just, it really touched my heart. And I got it this week, like a couple of days after we didn't have power, and I was like really grumpy. And she was like, didn't say anything, but I went and checked the mail. I was trying to get those packages out to the winners of the giveaway, and I had a hard time, but they did ship yesterday, so that stuff is on the way to you guys. So hopefully you'll get that early next week. But anyway, Beate made me, because you guys all know I use Ziploc bags, this beautiful project bag. Isn't this adorable? It's for socks and or a smaller project. And she told me that she thrifted this yarn, or it's fabric, from a shirt that she found in a thrift store. I just love how she put the two colors here together, and it's so cute. And look, it's so well made. You can clip it onto, your purse. And look at this. I mean, she even put like here to help find the tab. I mean, it's just beautiful. And look on the inside. Here, let me show you on the inside. It's lined beautifully with this beautiful fabric. And I know she did this on purpose. It's pink because it's my favorite color. And I pulled this out where you guys couldn't see it. And she told me that this is another little project bag where you can like, excuse me, 1 second. Let me get a sip of something. But she made this, and you take your socks and your needles, and you can just throw them in here, and look, it all matches. I mean, isn't this so cute? I mean, this is so cute. Now I kind of get why people buy these project bags, because they're so cute. But you throw your socks and your needles in here, and you can take this and throw this into your purse. And then you just got your project with you, something to work on if you're waiting for waiting in line at the grocery store, waiting at the doctor's office, or at the dentist for an appointment, or at the hair salon, or waiting for your kid to get out of school, in the line where you're trying to pick them up. If your kids are going to school, so much has changed with COVID. But anyway, I think this is great. And now I want more. I want more project bags. She also gave me this beautiful card. Look at this. This is all handmade. And it's just so, look at the detail on this. It's got lace and it's got a little crocheted flower. I mean, it's just beautiful. Beate, thank you. Thank you so much. You are so kind, and to put all this time and effort into it means the world to me. Thank you. I'm definitely going to use this, and now I want more project bags. You created a beast. And she also gave me these really cute, inside there, I didn't even show this, these adorable little stitch markers. I use these all the time. I love these. This is actually my favorite kind. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are really sweet. And it did brighten my mood with having no power for a couple of days. This was the bright spot that I had. It was like, oh my gosh, at least something good happened today. But thank you so much. And if you guys want to check out her Instagram, she doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she does have an Instagram channel. And another thing I wanted to share is that she is knitting a Hope Remains shawl along with me. So go check out her knitting. She does beautiful knitting. She does baking, sewing, all kinds of stuff. I'll put her channel here above. And again, thank you so much, Beate. It's really sweet. I love it so much. And I think that's probably all I'm going to talk about today. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do. I would love to have you stick around and be part of our family. And please don't hesitate to put comments down below to those questions I asked you. I'd like to know what you're thinking. And, or comment about anything. I just love reading your comments, and I read every one of them. So, thank you guys so much. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will catch you next time.